There is something really special about being able to do something for the sake of the thing. And if you have the opportunity to like do good for the sake of just doing good, then I think you should. When people wear the Keep Showing Up shirt and like put it out there, it makes me feel like they're carrying the torch for me a little bit. I'm Jenny Fischer, Associate Manager of MBA Social. I was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, grew up just outside of it in a small town called Heartland, Wisconsin. My dad is from New Jersey, so he grew up on the East Coast. My mom grew up just north of Milwaukee in a town called Mequon. And then I have two older siblings, Elise and Charlie. I'm the youngest of those three kids. We used to call ourselves the Fischer Five, so that was our little mantra. My dad wound up at Marquette because he was offered a preferred walk-on position, and he had never been to Wisconsin in his entire life. Had only heard of Marquette because they were fresh off of a national championship. There's this dorm at Marquette called Schrader Hall, and my mom lived there. My dad ended up walking up to my mom, said like, "Hey, Jill," and she was like, "Who are you?" And he assumed because he was a basketball player that my mom would know exactly who he was. And he thought that she was cute and all that good stuff. And then they dated for a while, and my dad proposed to her on her graduation weekends. If Marquette doesn't win the national championship in 1977, I might not be here. I can't imagine my family without basketball. They were absolute best friends. My grandma had ovarian cancer for 8 years, and my mom took care of her. So when she lost my grandma, I think all of us knew okay, this is going to be hard. And so as a 13-year-old, I was able to visualize it in that way, oh, she just misses grandma and she's having a tough time. I took the bus to school. And so my mom, she was wearing a navy shirt. She had jeans on. I remember my dog, Molly, who we named after my grandma, was giving me kisses goodbye. And I walked through our garage to go outside, walk down the driveway, walk up the street to get to the bus stop. And I remember saying goodbye to my mom, that I loved her. And again, I knew during that time that she had been kind of down, especially because we're nearing the 1-year anniversary of my grandma's passing. So when I got home from school that day, again, I walked back in through our garage, saw my mom's car there. So I was like, oh, mom's home. And I walked in and I was like, hey, mom, didn't hear anything back. I remember looking at the floor. There was some drops of blood kind of by a bathroom near our kitchen. And then as I went further into the kitchen, saw some more drops of blood, just little droplets again. So I'm not thinking anything at all. I go looking around the house, and when I got to the bathroom door, it was locked, but I could see the light on from underneath. And I'm counting, because I'm she has to be in there. You can't lock the door from the outside in any way. And I looked in there and I saw her laying in the bathtub, same clothes that I saw her in earlier that day, but there was just blood everywhere. I remember seeing my dad fall to the ground crying, and we all just sit in the back of the police cars and give our statements. So it was just that experience in itself, extremely traumatic, not only for losing my mom, but the ripple effect. We talk about how there's a chain reaction to suicides. It's not just the person who died that's affected, it's everyone who's survived by it. And for me, it's you're seeing your dad who absolutely adored your mom. They had a wonderful relationship, and your older brother who you think is this superhuman, and you look up to him, and your older sister who is still trying to figure out life and get guidance from your mom, and now she doesn't have a mom anymore. And I think that was probably one of the parts about it that is least talked about, is just having to watch my family also lose her. Desi Linden was the one who tweeted it. She had tweeted some days it'll feel like you're born to do this. Other days it'll feel like you're trudging through hell. No matter what, keep showing up, giving it your best shot, and seeing what you've got. And I just absolutely loved it. It resonated with me to the core. I don't know why, but when I read it, I was keep showing up. It's that simple. And I remember I wrote it on a sticky note, put it on my mirror in my house at Marquette. I was a junior at the time. And it became my thing, my mantra. I was sitting in my New York City apartment. It was September of 2020. I'd only been living there for a couple months. And I was like, look, every year I typically do the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention walk, and I raise money. When I was at Marquette, I played on the club basketball team. I have pictures of like my club basketball teammates and I walking together in it. It was just a really cool thing for my family would all band together and be able to walk, and it was powerful. I ended up thinking like, okay, well now we're in COVID, people aren't really gathering and doing walks. How else can I raise money? And without asking people to just empty their pockets for the cause. Like there has to be something that they can get out of it too. So I started wearing the shirt more, and then I was like, wait a minute, I could sell these and raise money. And so at first I just put out like a little teaser on Twitter. I was like, look, if you guys would be interested, wouldn't be, whatever, let me know and I'll put in an order and I'll donate all the money. I figured like literally 50 shirts. I was like, if I get 50 shirts sold, like my friends and family, people who are close to me, I will be happy. That will be a success. But then I ended up selling 200. It was absolutely nuts. I wound up with all these boxes of Keep Showing Up shirts in my really small apartment, and I hand mailed every single one. It ended up, as soon as people got the shirts, they were taking pictures in the shirts, posting it to social media, and so more people wanted them. And I was like, I can't do another round of 200 shirts in my apartment, like it's not gonna fit. And so I ended up figuring out a back end way to like get the money automatically donated and get the shirts directly to the people. And that's kind of the format that I've been going with ever since. The shirts, obviously, the first thing I was thinking about was raising money, but I've also loved just how much conversation and like the community that has rallied around it. So it came from like a one-fold thing becoming a three-fold thing. And so it just means a lot in a myriad of ways, but I think also the raising money makes me feel like I'm actually doing some sort of tangible good. Like it's measurable to think about that that's going towards research and that's going towards helping other people. And there's a lot of different ways that the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention uses it. They list it all in their mission and on their website, but it just makes me feel like we're getting closer to a world where this isn't going to happen to anyone ever again. I think you have to keep showing up for yourself first and foremost. And I think, again, it's a very simple phrase, and the design is meant to be 3 simple words 3 times over as kind of like a, come on, like keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up. So to me, it was meant to be that simple so it could mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Keep showing up even if people don't know that you're continuing to keep showing up. And I mean this in a way because I think a lot of these battles are silent. I think about my mom and the perfectionist that she was outwardly and how that really made it super hidden. Like I was extremely blind to it, and it's really easy to put a smile on your face. It's really easy to brush off your feelings outwardly. So I would tell those people, keep showing up even if other people don't see you doing it.